Welcome to Design and Style Visibility Stories. Design and Style is a podcast for designers by designers with co-hosts Dixie Willard from Dixie Willard Design and Rachel Moriarty from Rachel Moriarty Interiors. The Design and Style Visibility Stories are brought to you today by the Design and Style Visibility Lab. The Visibility Lab is the only membership group that focuses on the latest strategies and tools to help you get more visible while showcasing your specific brilliance. We've got weekly online office hours with both of us, monthly topics, in-depth worksheets, and exclusive monthly trainings.
Good morning or good afternoon on the East Coast.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited. We have the lovely Marsha McDonald here today sharing her visibility story and journey with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your design firm.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Marsha McDonald. I own a luxury design studio called Seacrest Designs. I have been in the business for, I would dare say, near over 15 years. The fun part of it is that I'm in the field of both architecture and interior design. So I do a little of both. I'm working on becoming a licensed architect. But somewhere along that journey, I got hired in an interior design firm and started working with contractors and started doing the modelings. And they're like, oh, you can select this, you can select that. And built up kind of like a reputation of being a great kitchen and bath designer. I did furniture design, custom high-end design, and pretty much started building my repertoire from there. I did like ridiculous details, things with high-end finishes, and eventually got into the place where I got the opportunity to own my own shop. So I was a bit of a manufacturer for a couple of years, and then running quite a couple of jobs in South Florida. I'm actually in Fort Lauderdale right now. But I've done jobs from, the Caribbean all the way up to Jupiter, Stewart, which is in Florida. And now I, I'm reshifting my gears, so to speak, to go back to my first love, which is architecture and interior design. And I'm not manufacturing anymore. I just mainly focus on doing more of a design aspects. And as long as I have my computer and a space, I'm pretty good.
Wow. Dixie, you're on mute, by the way. You really cover it all. I'm on your website, and you are Dixie and I always say we make the perfect designer because, she focuses on constructions and plans and sort of that interior architecture, and I take it to the styling, and you do it all. I'm on your website. You do e-design, you do the styling and sourcing, and that's amazing. What an amazing skill set you have.
Well, thanks. I even was a teacher, a professor at one point. Don't ask me how, but so I realized how much I was doing when I tried to hire an assistant. And I'm like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. And somebody said, well, you basically need to just try and copy yourself. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. It became a little bit more challenging, but that's, the fun part.
For anybody just listening on iTunes and not watching this, we're having a CNN moment. Remember when the guy was having an interview on CNN
on live TV
coming on? That was so
I'm so
cute.
sorry.
No problem.
He was not supposed to be in the room.
It's Saturday morning. I said the same thing to Dixie. I'm like, I have noise canceling headphones, but it's Saturday morning, and I get the house to myself all week. And
right. Well, this is what I totally forgot about that, because I'm like, wait a minute, I scheduled it for Saturday. Oh no, the kids are home.
Yeah, that's the mompreneur life.
Yeah.
Yes. So what made you decide that you wanted to go ahead and finish pursuing architecture?
Oh wow, I'm a finisher by personality. And that's one of the things about my jobs, even whether, good or bad, whatever happens, my goal is to get the job done. I find the quickest way. So I had earlier set out this goal and wanting to finish. I said, wait a minute, if I've already done school, I have a business. This is not for financial purposes now. It's just to finish my goal and to kind of do that checklist in my mind. So it's like the alpha A personality, that I have. Yeah.
Sounds like someone else I know that might be on this call.
I don't know what you're
Dixie
talking
is
about.
a finisher. I love some of that language though. I'm telling you, like I feel like that should be on some of your branding and some of your, on your website. When you said it, it was like I kind of made me like, oh my gosh, am I a finisher or am I a starter? And so that I feel like that is something that would be great for a client to hear. Like you say it with such conviction that definitely that is definitely something that I would,
Yeah, no, that's good because do you know what? I deal with the good and the bad, and in construction, people don't tell you that it's going to be pretty, it's going to look great, but construction is about things getting dirty, things getting messy. Yes, there is the thing that not everybody does what they say, and things happen the way they'd like. But if you do have someone who will kind of keep everybody going and keep everything together, I actually believe that as a designer, that is a great positioning to have. Because not everybody understands that, we just have a pretty picture. But if you say that that's part of your skill set, to keep everything in line, to do the checklist, have the timelines, and keep it going, to finish, then, in the world of change and design, and I've seen so much, that is absolutely necessary.
Well, and that middle section,
Yeah.
I've heard it, and I've heard it from so many different sources in so many different ways, but that messy middle part that just absolutely makes no sense to the client, being able to step through that and go, no, I gotcha. Hang on. We're going to get there. I promise. It's not going to stay like this for forever. You're right. That's getting them through that is so hard and valuable at the same time.
I mean, literally valuable to their pocketbook, because I had somebody call me. They decided to take a remodel on themselves. They got the framing up, and when they got to, okay, now we need all the finishes for the 2 baths, the kitchen. It was a small home, laundry. They just lost it. Like they just hit a wall, right? And then they have a whole crew, and they called me at the perfect time, because I'm like, if these people don't have things to do, they're off to another job. They've got to stay working. So people don't understand that, like, the way we help them can not only give them peace of mind, it's going to make it everything cohesive, but it's going to keep people on their project, right? So
and I like to say that I help to clarify options, especially the ones who come in. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I have a design style. I just need you to help me do X, Y, Z. And I would say to them, but the thing of having a professional on board is that we can help to cut down the time of you having to figure out what works. If you have a great skill set, for me as a designer, I always get them with a great imagery. I'm really good with doing renderings and doing, the plans, and in addition to the checklist, they get an idea of what it would look like, with SketchUp or whatever software. And a lot of people can't visualize that. And even though they say, I can go shopping and go online and go get this, as a designer, you bring that clarity to say, yes, but I can do this in a very short space of time. I can give you 3 options. You pick one. I recommend this one based on your scenario. And with that experience, you can just confidently say to them, look, this is what your project is going to look like. And they're like, oh, I see it now. So I'm like, I bring the clarity, so that you can definitely see your project even before it's begun.
I love that.
Yeah.
So tell us the ways that you are getting visible now. Like how do you get the word out? And let's talk a little bit about your visibility.
Okay, I've said I've been in business for over 15 years. I never had to go on social media. It wasn't important to me. I didn't even have a website, believe it or not. I was getting business. But so last year, when I kind of shifted how I did business and wanted it to be more from home and that whole yards, I basically said, let me, find people like me. I realized I was in a space where I was dealing with contractors and builders and homeowners, but I didn't have too many design friends, to be honest. And I found them online, So your group, Design and Style, I hope I said it right, Design+Style, was one of the groups that I joined, and absolutely amazing how, with the tips and the challenges with, I did my first media kit. I know you guys saw that. I got motivated to do headshots. I didn't have headshots before. Can you believe that? I had none. So my girlfriend was like, Marsha, come to this party. They're doing headshots. Just take some. And I did my first headshots. So things like that. Going through the tips. I signed up to the Design Network because of you guys. I didn't even know about them, and that really helped to position me in front of, even on social media. So a couple of my friends saw, oh, Marsha, you're doing this, you're doing that, and just with all the challenges, they started responding. I literally had a client call me. I'm actually making a presentation to her next week, and she's like, Marsha, I saw the stuff that you're doing on social media. I really like, what you're saying. I really like, how you're, and I like your website, did the website. And she booked a consultation because of all that visibility, so that's definitely one of the ways that I'm doing visibility. And the second thing is I reach out to the community. I volunteer a lot. Yeah, so, and I've always done so, but I've never made it a point of duty to get in front of the camera and take pictures and, hey, I'm at such and such event, supporting this person, and I post it, and you guys kind of really help to say, whatever you're doing, your clients, your followers, your people want to know, and that actually will help to cut down even on, trying to figure out what to post. Because if you're posting, hey, I'm here in Miami, I'm at this event, I'm here supporting this artist, which I do, on my own, and I put a picture up, that helps with visibility.
Oh my gosh, I have the goosebumps. I don't know about you, Dixie, but all of that, you're just speaking our love language left and right. And, even like yesterday was, Dixie and I said, part of our business is bringing awareness to the charities and the foundations that we are about. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to use this platform for. So yesterday, I don't know if you noticed, I shared a story about how I actually died. I had flatlined. And so yesterday was Go Red for Women with National Wear Red Day. Yes. Excuse me. So we did a blog post, and did live streams, and it's a different layer. And you have people going, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was your story. Yeah. So it doesn't seem important to us, but it still you still can create, social media is just an amazing platform, and to bring visibility to local artists too. Yeah. I mean, that interior designer is, supporting a local artist. You don't know the people that are lurking on your social media that might, that it might drive traffic to somebody like that. So, I was going to also say, I think you need to do more. I mean, you are just a fabulous spirit. You have this wonderful energy about you, this hair, this accent. I mean, you are just meant to be visible. So yes. I would love to see you step it up a little bit more in 2018, because I just love, you're amazing. You have an amazing energy about you. And,
but yeah, and even beyond that, I think one of my passion is talking about diversity.
Ooh.
I'm a firm believer that if you are in an artistic field, if you are a creative being, that there's so many different expressions of that.
Yes.
And, when I like how you guys, your partnership, I was telling someone the other day that, Dixie is more quiet and just, she dresses just in basic colors, even though once in a while you do the blue hair and
basic colors with bright blue hair.
And I said, Rachel is, oh my goodness, she's like awesome because, with your fly colors. Sometimes I don't know if you're Japanese or Mexican or Latin or whatever the flair is. It's like there's so many different layers that, I never know what you're going to do next, that type of thing. And I said it's a great partnership because sometimes, the energy level is like, it's not just one thing. And I really appreciate that with you guys. And so for diversity, it's the same thing. I tell sometimes I teach and mentor people, but, when they go to college and high school, but I would say to them, I said, you are the secret sauce in any design that you do because you have a perspective that nobody else has. And it took me quite a while personally to even have that courage to say that because I was trying to figure out where do I fit, what do I like? And how can I present myself? Even with being talented, even with knowing so much, you still have to kind of, I hate, some people don't like using the word branding, but that's the word. Basically, you really have to focus on what your strength is and present that to the world. And so that's what diversity does. It allows so many different presentations. Even if you're talking about the same topic, nobody's going to say it the way you do.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Marsha, I am so grateful that we got to have this conversation with you.
Same here. Here.
I'm like, you need to get the message out. I am like goosebumps from like both sides of my body.